What's happening, people? Harry Scarfe here, football content creator, YouTuber and football writer, and welcome back to the channel. Today is your daily Tottenham news and transfer window update. Without further ado, let's crack straight into it. If you're new, like and subscribe, and thank you because kind of this opportunity. Let's get straight into it. So I'm going to read you 2 or 3 articles today, but shorter ones. The first one is about Jack Grealish, and it's written on behalf of the Spurs, where the headline is Manchester City legend predicts how Jack Grealish would perform at Tottenham. Goes on to say former Man City centre-back Richard Dunn has spoken about Pep Guardiola's treatment of Jack Grealish and has made a confident claim about how the versatile attacker would perform at Tottenham. The article kicks off by saying Tottenham's suffered a huge setback just weeks ahead of the new season, with James Maddison suffering a serious injury in the 1-1 draw against Newcastle in South Korea. According to some sources, signing an attacking midfielder has become the top priority for Spurs following Maddison's injury, and the Lily Whites may turn to a long-term target. It's been claimed that Tottenham are eyeing a move for Manchester City's Jack Grealish, who is surplus to requirements at Man City. It's not the first time the North London club have tried to sign the 29-year-old or been linked with the 29-year-old. According to reports, Spurs held extensive talks with Grealish representatives about a move back in January, but the player decided to remain at the Etihad at the time. Richard Dunn claims Jack Grealish would be an excellent signing for Tottenham. Dunn believes the former Aston Villa man could have a big impact for City last season and lamented the fact that Pep Guardiola never gave him game time. The pundit admitted that it's time for the English international to move on from Manchester and opted that it would be a huge asset for Thomas Frank's men if he were to move to North London. When asked about Grealish's situation at City, Dunn told Sports Mole, "It's a shame really, it's just about being informed at the right time, and when players had a bit of an off-season last year, it was an opportunity for Grealish to stand up and be the one who brought the goals and assists, but he never got the game time. It's difficult for him and that opportunity is gone, it's probably time for him to move on. As a good player, as I think he's been, I don't think he'll get the chance at Man City anymore, so unfortunately he will move on, but wherever he goes he'll be a huge asset. Certainly if he went to Tottenham Hotspur he'll be a fantastic player for them." Next, it says why is Grealish's stance on joining Spurs. It says even though the versatile attacker may have turned down a move to N17 in January, he is thought to be willing to make a switch this summer. This was the information provided recently by Gibby Sport, who claimed that Grealish prefers to move to Tottenham over the likes of West Ham this summer. The outlet revealed that Everton are also circling over the Manchester City star, but added the move to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as the player's most likely destination this summer if he were to move to London at all. So that is the article, and it is an interesting one. I think Grealish would be a good bit of business in terms of, again, he's versatile, can play the 10 and the left winger. I don't know whether it would be a statement signing like maybe an Eze, but it would certainly be a big signing and one of ambition, I would argue. But I think Eze would be better, he's a bit younger, and I'd just rate him a lot highly. But I think that Grealish would still be a really smart bit of business. I'd rather sign someone like Grealish than 2 average wingers, an average left winger or an average number 10. If he's one player of real quality, like an Eze or Grealish, as I said before, I'd much rather one player of quality than 2 kind of, average players. That for me is really important, because we look at the bail money, we buy it on, not be funny, 6 or 7 really average players. I'd rather have less, because less is more in my opinion. Second article I want to read you is from Football London. The headline is reason Tottenham may have paid £60 million for wonder kid who has an £8 million transfer clause. It says Tottenham Hotspur have been linked with a move for a highly rated playmaker, but Spurs may have to pay a significant transfer fee to prize him away from his current club. And this is to do with Nico Paz. It says Tottenham Hotspur are interested in Nico Paz, but may have to pay up to £60 million for the Argentinian wonder kid. Paz joined Serie A side Como from Real Madrid last summer and impressed under manager Cesc Fabregas. The 20-year-old attacking midfielder scored 6 goals and provided 9 assists in 35 league games, helping the newly promoted club achieve impressive as well, I will say, 10th place finish. So this article, it just kind of dives in on Nico Paz and just why Tottenham were looking at him. It says Spurs are already looking for a number 10 before James Maddison suffered an ACL injury, which will see him miss most of the upcoming season. However, Spurs will have to pay more than Paz's current release clause to seal a deal for the Como star. The Express reports that Como are hoping for a fee in the region of £60 million for Paz. That would represent nearly £55 million more than the £5.2 million that Como signed him for last summer. So either way, Como are going to make a lovely profit. It was rumoured that within the Italian media, the Spurs had seen a £35 million offer rejected. However, the Athletic were quick to report that the club denied making any bid, while Como is said to be reluctant to sell. Spurs face another obstacle in the form of Real Madrid, who have a buyback clause in Paz's contract. Xavi Alonso's side chose not to activate their £6.9 million clause this summer, but the price will only increase to €7.8 million, so that's €9 million next summer, then rise to €8.6 million, which is €10 million in 2027. Still not a lot considering what he's worth now. Moreover, the Spanish giants hold a 50% sell-on fee, pushing Como to increase Paz's value. Madrid are also claiming to have the right to match any bid for their former academy prospect, which could hinder Spurs' hopes of completing a move this summer. Tottenham boss Thomas Frank will be keen to add attacking reinforcements after seeing Son Heung-min's move to LAFC, losing Maddison to injury, and links with several number 10s this summer after Kulusevski is also still out on the touchline. It includes their failed pursuit of Nottingham Forest Morgan Gibbs-White. However, Paz has received a glowing endorsement from Lionel Messi, despite only being in the first 3 years of his professional career. On his international debut, Paz provided an assist for Messi during Argentina's 6-0 win over Bolivia. Nico Paz has an incredible mindset, and that's why he's here, Messi said. Nico has a lot of quality and understands the game perfectly. He has an incredible mindset and is with Cesc Fabregas as a coach, who is my friend and will help him grow a lot. Football London understands that Spurs are prioritising a move for an attacking midfielder and another centre-back. The club have signed Mohamed Kudus from West Ham and sealed a loan deal for Bayern Munich midfielder João Palhinha this summer. Spurs have also signed Matthias Tell and Kevin Danso permanently on top of Kota Takai. The team signed off their pre-season schedule with a 4-0 defeat to Bayern Munich ahead of facing PSG in this UEFA Super Cup on Wednesday in Italy. In terms of bringing in attacking options, Frank admitted to the club he would consider bringing a forward to replace Son for his move to LAFC. Frank said Sonny was a key player for 10 seasons. He's left the club. We have both good young players, Matthias Tell and Wilson Odobert. They're really promising and can perform. Brendan can also play on that side. As I said, we're in the market. If we think we can find the right one who can improve the team, then it'll be signed. If we can't, then not. That is the article. I don't know a lot about Nico Paz, but for me, I just think it's going to not happen because Real Madrid have clearly an upper hand in this. They have clauses which give them strength. I think Como apparently reportedly, according to different sources, trying to remove that clause, but it's a really complicated and tough process. So it may be again more of a dream sign, as I say, but I think we should be looking at Berechese for me if I had to choose one. But of course, there's more to it. Frank might not want him, as it might not want Tottenham. He might be an Arsenal fan that wants Arsenal. That's what reports are suggesting anyway. But either way, we need quality over quantity. Don't know why we're linked to another centre back. I won't turn down. I'm not going to grumble about signing another centre back, but I think the money should be spent elsewhere, if you ask me. But that is your daily Tottenham news and transfer window headlines with me, Harry Scarfe, football content creator, YouTuber, and football writer. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Chris Cullen, for this opportunity. Like and subscribe to the channel if you can. Follow me at HarryScarfe22 across all socials. That mean a lot. Thank you very much. Also have my YouTube channel Harry Scarfe, which contains my own Tottenham podcast within, also available multi-platform as well, called the Scarfe Spurs Talk podcast. If you can check that out, guys, it honestly would mean a lot to me. I'm an independent creator, but thank you very much for letting me talk to you today, and a massive come on you Spurs.